Good afternoon, everyone. I have the founder and CEO of Way2VAT or Way2VAT with me today for the webinar. So, Way2VAT is a tax tech company. They are positioning themselves as a leading SaaS platform for global VAT reclaim, invoice validation, compliance, and invoicing solutions. The company's growth is built on four connected revenue lines that they're calling the four pillars: global VAT reclaim, API invoice validation, VAT compliance services, and real-time e-invoicing. And what makes Way2VAT so compelling is the large addressable market that they have in the four pillars. This is in the multi-tens of billions of dollars in total. They have patent-protected technology, and they have cross-selling opportunities available. They have a growing global client list that includes the likes of Duracell, Sony, and Nestle. And with that, I will hand over to Amos to start the presentation. Thank you, Amos.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Anthony. So, my name is Amos Simantov. I am the founder and CEO of Way2VAT. My background is taking company for small scale to large. Last company we sold for a very large private equity fund for $400 million US. We built for Way2VAT a very unique platform. I would like to walk you through today and explain you exactly what we are doing here commercially and technologically. So, as Anthony said, in Way2VAT, we have today four pillars. Those four pillars are the main growth for the business for the next few years. Some are newcomers, like new technology that we developed recently. Some are already like kind of bread and butter for the business in the last few years. Let me walk you through one by one. So, and the first one is the global VAT reclaim. So, VAT and GST reclaim for large corporates. This is what we are doing. Very large businesses. Just give you the idea. Companies with a size of 1,000 to 30, 40,000 employees, having presence in many countries around the globe. For the global VAT reclaim, what we do for those businesses, we do the reclaim for all the travel and expenses that they are having. If employees are traveling globally between countries to promote their business. If it's hotel, if it's accommodation, transportation, events, hosting clients, in any area in the world, country in the world, we are getting all these invoices in very large scale from those clients through their ERP system, if it's SAP or Oracle. And we are working simultaneously in 40 countries, 20 languages to reclaim all those expenses in front of 40 different tax authorities. So this is a very scalable machine that we built. We started it 8 years ago. Before AI came to our life, it was like a machine learning that we started. So we're very familiar with all these technologies. We have 7 patents around that. So all the idea is to look on the invoice as an image and to capture all the data per invoice and to reclaim it in different tax authorities. So we are doing that in a very large scale. We are talking about millions of invoices that we are dealing in quarterly basis, and it's growing in daily with different clients that we are signing with. The global VAT reclaim business, it's actually our bread and butter. We build all the system and our technology based on that. When I'm saying, by the way, VAT, GST is the same. So it's the same. VAT is a value-added tax and global sales tax. So it's the same thing. So we do both. We do VAT and GST reclaim. This platform today, we have about more than 500 clients in that platform, working with them in daily basis. The second pillar is the API. It's an invoice validation. This is a new technology that we presented recently in the market. We call it, it's a part of wider solution. We call it way to invoice. So there is a way to VAT. This solution, we call it way to invoice. API is based on AI technology that we developed recently. The idea with API, it's invoice validation. Um, big corporates, they are getting invoices from their supplier, mainly account payable invoices in very large scale, different languages, different issues that they are having. It's very complicated for them to reclaim that and also to manage it. And the way that they're doing that is mainly manual process. What we develop an online platform, can get invoices in very large scale, look on each individual invoice, and can tell the client if it's compliance, yes or no. This is a revolutionary solution that we developed recently. So, as said, we are working in different languages, different tax authorities. We are getting those invoices in very large scale. Client has like a traffic light. He can see real time if the invoice is compliant, yes or no. If it's red, so if it's duplicate or kind of let's say a fraud, they are stopping the process. If it's green, it's green, and yellow, he needs to check it with the supplier. When we are looking now in companies, a very large one, so they have their own AP team. AP team are dedicated to look and to validate those invoices before they do the payment to the supplier. Mostly they do like a random check or doing check here and there. It's impossible to go after each individual invoice. What we developed here, a platform that can do A to Z. They can validate any invoice in any size, in any language. And this is a revolutionary solution that we are providing to the market today. The third pillar is the VAT compliance. VAT compliance, so it's a new pillar that we presented in the market. This is based on the acquisition we did in last October in London. We bought a company called RBC. So RBC providing us all the VAT services like compliance and consultancy. This is like today, I would say 15 or 70% of our revenue is from that area. And it's growing and it's growing. And the idea is to provide to client what we found ourselves in a situation that we are advising our clients in different situations that we have issues with VAT or GST, with different suppliers, the clients asking questions. Mostly when they do, they go to the big four, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, PwC to get their advice. We decided to provide these services internally and to provide kind of solution for them through RBC. So it's a complementary solution. So it's not just we do the VAT reclaim and do the AP compliant things. We do the advisory itself. So it's a complementary solution. It's growing. As said, revenue is very nice. RBC, we are very pleased from this acquisition. And I will walk you through this RBC and the situation in the market and the way that we have more and more appetite to acquire companies like that. This is part of our strategic roll-up growth that we have in the next few years. The last pillar, we call it real-time e-invoicing. This is the real-time e-invoicing, the fourth pillar and the second pillar. It's part of the way to invoice platform that we are having. So what exactly we do here? We are getting invoices from our clients, from their supplier in very large scale, very large scale. We checking them real time. It's a real-time platform, and we can say if they are compliance, yes or not, in terms of the internal policy of the client or compliance in terms of the tax authority. We are doing this check, and once we did this check, we move it to the e-invoicing format. So e-invoicing is a new standard in Europe and also will come to Australia and New Zealand, some of APAC countries shortly. This is to avoid fraud. Countries are losing billions of dollars because they are paying VAT, GST to the wrong direction for invoices that are really fake. So they would like to avoid it and they would like to do a real-time handshake between the supplier, the invoice itself, and the payment potentially they will do for the GST VAT component. So this is an e-invoicing standard for countries. We develop a solution that can support it. So we do like end to end. So we are checking the invoice. We are saying if it's a compliant, yes or not. And then we are moving the invoices to the e-invoicing format. So this could be inbound invoices or outbound invoices. So it can be AP invoices or AR invoices, account receivable invoices. So these are the four pillars of Way2VAT. This is the platform that we are having here. This is our main growth for the next years to come. And we are very pleased that we have it. Next. So let me walk you through for the first pillar, the global VAT reclaim. As said, is about 80% of the revenue today is from that pillar. So in the last 4 years, from 2022 till today, we reclaimed cash in to our clients about 125 million dollars, Australian dollar. They got cash from us in the last 4 years and it's growing nicely. We are in monthly 1 million invoices per month that we are getting to our platform and then validating that and then reclaiming that in different countries, working in 40 different countries simultaneously in 20 different languages. We have about 560 clients using this platform. One of the growth strategy for the next year to come is about based on roll-up and acquisition. So we did two acquisitions from in the last few years. In 2022, we acquired a company in Barcelona in October 22 in Barcelona called Eveloiva. Now it's called Way2VAT Spain. And this is a company that do a VAT reclaim in the Spanish market. It's a complementary solution to our current business line, and we are very pleased from that acquisition. In 2025, we acquired a company called RBC. This is the VAT consultancy and compliance company that I showed you before. We are very pleased from this acquisition. They are growing. There is between Way2VAT and RBC, there is a cross-sell between clients. So we are in the right path. And this is, by the way, the trigger for us to look for more acquisitions in that area. Lastly, technology is it's in our life, it's in our blood. We build this business based on technology. As I said, we started in early days with computer vision, looking on the image itself. We call it like the same technology that for the face recognition that being presented like 6, 7, or 8 years ago. We've been using the same kind of solution, but this was proprietary. Whatever you are seeing here, it's proprietary, 100% developed by Way2VAT, no third party at all. And today it's most likely based on AI. So it's very scalable one. So we see the opportunity with AI that we can work closely in very large scale with clients. Also, the accuracy is very high. We've been more competitive now because AI machine can replace human. So we are reducing cost as well. So this is going to different areas. But again, whatever you are seeing here, or you will see here in this presentation, is based about unique technology. We call it today AI, but is based on 7, 8 patents that we started based on machine learning 8 years ago. Let me walk you to the numbers so you can see the growth from 2022 when we started our journey in ASX. So revenue was about 1.8 million Aussie. In 25, we've been about 6.5. So we are growing in average about, I would say, 50% year over year. First half of 26 was a 4.2. We cannot provide any indication for forecast, but you can see number. You see the growth for this year. We will keep the same momentum of 40% or 50% growth for this year as well. We have a growth in compared to the revenue for in this quarter, Q2 quarter, it's about 30% on PCP. Quarterly cash receipt was up of 83% on PCP. So we are growing in any direction. Let me explain you about the big element of the growth and the base platform of this business. There are sorry. First, it's all about growth. So we are growing and we will keep growing. So the main growth will come from clients signing new contracts, enterprise clients. So we very much would like to see the growth running from 30 to 50% around that year over year. We have one of the main things that we've been the uniqueness in this platform, this technology is the high margin that we have. So the cost of goods sold of our business about 18%, 1/8. So the gross profit is about 82%. So it's very profitable business in terms of the operational cost. So it's just about the revenue. If we will get to certain revenue, and this is the year that we are aiming to, this will take us to break even to profitability. So the path is to P&L break even. We very much would like to see us this year and the beginning of next year keeping that momentum and generating a cash positive and P&L and a positive EBITDA. So this is the idea. It's all about growth. It's all about having new clients. The growth, as I said, we can come by two main elements, having new clients and the acquisition. So in the pipeline, we have a few opportunities now, and we hope to close them shortly. This really can move the business to profitability faster. Company that we are looking at now must have a positive EBITDA. So we are not looking for any company that are bleeding or break even. Looking for companies in the VAT area, in the VAT domain, consultancy and compliance in Europe, mainly in Europe, that can, the same like RBC, that they can provide their clients. We can provide our technology and our experience leading companies like that to the next level. So it's a perfect match having those companies. We are working with investment banker in the UK. We have a very strong pipeline for potential acquisition, putting a lot of efforts around it. And I hope we will come some good news to the market shortly. We are cooking something quite big here. About API and what we discussed before, the real-time invoice compliance validation. And this is something very unique in the market. As I said, mostly a big team, AP team are getting data, doing random checking them in different technologies. For us, technology is on the shelf. It's a real-time. Clients can upload millions of invoices before they pay to the supplier. They can see if the invoice is compliant, yes or no, in different languages, and then they can move it to the payment. The idea here is to give them the confidence that they can really build a robust system, that they can trust the system, and through that, once they check the invoice and the invoice is compliant, they can nothing, any activities is almost zero from their side. They need to move it to the ERP and to do that to the payment process. So the main hurdle today and the obstacle that AP team has in a large corporate is to validate the invoice itself. If we have a machine that they can do it automatically and can do it accurately. This is a revolutionary approach, and this is the idea with that system. Now, with that product, recently we signed an agreement with Coupa. Coupa is an invoice management player, a very large one in Europe, based in the UK. So Coupa going to present Way2VAT like a solution to their clients. So it's going to be another channel for us. Bear in mind, mostly all our business is a direct approach. So we are approaching clients directly and we are signing contract. We don't have any channel. So we have a dedicated sales team in Europe running the business in all Europe. Now for the API and way to invoice, we started to look for a channel and we build the channel. Coupa is the first one that will start presenting this product, our product, to their clients. It's a large player, and we hope to get some nice benefits shortly. About the compliance services, this is RBC. So mostly, as I said, it's a Big Four grade VAT consultancy. We see mostly our clients be in touch with Ernst & Young, Deloitte, PwC that have issues. Now we do that for them through RBC. This is a unique approach. Looking, as I said, in that area, we are very much would like to acquire more companies, and we are putting a lot of efforts for a company like RBC. And as I said, we have a very strong pipeline. I hope we will come something we announce in the market. Surely it's going to be quite big. We do a lot of cross-sell between Way2VAT client and RBC to Way2VAT. Way to invoice, this is the fourth pillar. We call it the e-invoicing and the API in one platform. So we launched it this quarter. So it's a combination of the API product and the e-invoicing in one platform. Why we merged these two products to one? Because in the end, you need to check the invoice and then you need to move it to invoicing format. Otherwise, no one will pay you and the government will be behind you. You need to go to be fully compliant. So therefore, we developed this solution. The invoicing, as said, is a mandatory, started in a few countries in Europe, like you can see in Italy, in Greece. Germany will be next year. France is already there. So the main players, the main country, big countries in Europe are already there. I know that there are some talks in Australia and conversation doing that in Australia as well, in New Zealand as well. We see in Singapore invoicing solution and format. So we're going to be a player there. So we're going to provide our client this access. So it's going to be a handshake between, it's a triangle handshake between Way2VAT, the client with their supplier, and the government. So it's a real-time check, all the time, real-time check, getting invoices, checking them if they're compliant, moving that to the invoicing format. So this is the idea here. Therefore, we call it the way to invoice, this solution way to invoice. So we are doing that in 20 countries, multilingual. And I think if we are looking now on that solution, we are the only player in the world that having these four pillars in one platform. So the invoicing in Europe, you can see the countries that are 26, 27, Germany, Italy, Romania, Belgium, Poland, Croatia, Greece, France for SME, and Spain will be in 2027. In Asia Pacific, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Vietnam, and it's coming more and more countries. In Americas, you see Brazil, Mexico, Chile, Colombia, Peru. So it's coming, and this is going to be the next revolution in the market, the e-invoicing. So it's a big thing. Our clients have a budget for it. We see whatever talk we are talking with indirect tax, with tax managers, with VAT director, the main conversations, the e-invoicing. So we're going to be a player there with our solution, but not invoicing a standalone, because invoicing standalone won't be enough. It's the invoicing with API, with the AP compliance. So this is the only added value. We have the main added value we'll provide None of our competitors having that solution with invoice compliance and the invoicing in one platform. So when we are looking now on the fourth pillar, on the invoicing, so we are getting invoicing. We call it outbound and inbound. So outbound is we call it AR, account receivable. So I'm a client. I have my own business. I need to send invoices to my clients. So we are building all that solution that you as my client, you will be fully compliant with the invoicing solution. We call it outbound, and inbound is the AP invoices that we are getting through PDF. We can move it to the right format. Compliance built in, we said the API, and this is in one package. Our business model today, mostly for the VAT reclaim, for the first pillar I mentioned, is contingent based. So it's fees on fees. So from these 125 million Aussie we provided to our clients cash-wise, we got between 10 to 15% in average as a fee, as a success base. For the way to invoice, we change the commercial here and the pricing, and we move the business to SaaS fee. So it's going to be like a SaaS fixed fee monthly, cost per invoice for our client. So they will pay us for per invoice, per compliance of invoice. And this is the idea here. So if you have like 10,000 or 100,000 invoices, you pay like a few P's per invoice. It could be 40p, 50p, 60p, around that per invoice. And this is the business model that we are having. So it's different than the VAT reclaim. Therefore, we've been trying to pack it under the way to invoice. Commercially, it's a different solution in terms of the pricing structure. Now, looking on the way to invoice, so we launched it in July. We launched this way to invoice solution. In September will be a full market launch with a lot of advertisement. We will do it online activity around that. First sales, we think that we're going to get clients signing contracts in Q4 2027 and scale by mandate and having this pillar, a main player in this in our portfolio in 2027. Okay, so how way to invoice works? As I said, outbound, we get the invoice, we create it, we convert it, validate it, transmit it, and track it. The inbound we receive, this is the AP one. We check the compliance and we report and reclaim. Looking on the total available market, how sizable it is, and to see there is no issue of the market here. The market is huge. It's all about getting to the right number. So for the VAT reclaim, for the first pillar, the market is about $20 billion unclaimed yearly. So 20 billion are sitting in tax authorities. No one reclaimed them. So I think out of the 20 billion, on top of 20 billion, 5 billion been reclaimed. So tax authorities are very happy. Companies are not asking for those kind of potential VAT or GST reclaim. But there is a lot of issues why they are not doing that. We are trying to solve this anomaly and to access this solution to the tax authorities, between tax authorities and our clients. But it's a big problem. It's a huge market, 20 billion. Invoicing, we are talking about 58 billion market, and it's growing rapidly on yearly basis. The invoice validation and compliance about 70 billion, and the VAT advisory it's about 91 billion. So if you are combining all these numbers, it's going to be quite sizable. Clients that you can see, we have about more than 500 clients. You can see here CBRE, you can see JLL, you can see TikTok, you can see Ernst& Young, you can see Sony, you can see Aviva, one of the largest insurance company in the UK. You see Nestle, Sumitomo Bank, and this is like a short list of our clients: BASF, Pack Group in Australia. Yeah, so this is Way2VAT. Anthony, thank you for your time. Well, one thing I would like to add regarding another opportunity that we are having here, and I would like to mention it for RBC. We do a lot of advisory. Recently, a big opportunity came from one of, I would say, the top player in the online, I would say, advertisement market. And this player is one of the largest. It's a company, I think, worth billion of dollar. Now asking them to help them to advise them moving goods between APAC countries to the UK, mainly for two countries, Japan and South Korea, for Black Friday in 2026, that will be in end of November 2026. And the idea that Way2VAT with another partner will provide that solution. It's like online stores that they would like to move their goods online between those countries to the UK. Way2VAT and RBC will provide that solution to those small stores. It could be a huge opportunity in terms of number of revenue. So we are working with the partner on this. We hope to announce some figures and big numbers around it in the next few weeks, but this is something that we are working. We got like one trial with one of the online store already. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of online stores that would like to move goods to the UK before the Black Friday. So this is a potential deal that we are having on top of what I presented. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Thank you, Amos. It's certainly looks like you have a really big opportunity in front of you to execute on. So if I may, we have some questions for you. I guess the first one is how fragmented is the VAT reclaim market, and what gives you a competitive advantage?
Yeah, I think it's a fragmented market by any means. We see a lot of players that do like with zero technology, VAT advisory and VAT reclaim. And there are some players like us that have some technology there.
Mhm.
The main, I would say, advantage that we are having is that the technology. It's all about the technology. I think what I presented here, the four pillars, none of our competitor having that solution in one platform. And this is one of the biggest advantage that we have in the market. Therefore, and the idea, and this is what we are aiming for, is to acquire, because it's fragmented market, companies with zero technology. And then we want to get their clients, and we want to put our technology in front of their clients. So and this is the idea. And therefore, we are seeing the opportunity for us because the market is so fragmented.
Yeah, it certainly is. It also seems to me that you're providing a solution in a market that is definitely counting its money far more closely than it used to, because every piece of currency counts now when it comes to profitability. So if you have a solution that allows them to pick up those little pieces in a very cost-effective manner, then that must help their bottom
Yeah.
line. A bit like Boeing when it can save money by shaving a little bit of plastic off of a piece without losing, and saving weight, and
Yeah.
therefore money for their customers. Um, can you partner with if I'm assuming that, say, the big four accountants, tax accountants, and other consultants, are you able to partner with them and
Yeah.
provide a solution that would be?
I think this will be the second part of our strategy.
Hmm.
First, we need to see that we are selling the product in very large scale.
Mm,
As I said, it's the first time we do indirect
mm,
approach by having a channel. Coupa
mm.
is going to be one of the first partner using
Yeah.
our solution. And down the road, we very much would like to approach the big players like Ernst& Young, Deloitte,
Hmm.
PwC, KPMG, providing or presenting our solution. So
Hmm.
this is in our in our mind as well.
Do you need to make acquisitions if you can partner with, especially the big four, or
Yeah, but Big Four could be a very long sales cycle,
true.
and
Yeah.
you don't know how long will take you, what will be
Mm,
the outcome of it. And we are talking about the things like bread and butter for
mm,
tomorrow. And for tomorrow, we need to do those acquisitions.
mm. Um, when looking at the four pillars, which do you see as the fastest growing, or is it all, given how interrelated and the cross-sell opportunities, is it a
I would
equal?
say the potential growth will be for the way to invoice is
Mhm,
the API and the e-invoicing solution in
mm,
one platform. This should be the number one. Of course, the bread and butter, the VAT reclaim, we will keep doing that, and we are signing contract. We won't jeopardize that. The VAT consultancy is mostly depends on acquisition and the company we will acquire.
mhm. Um, do you think that there's I know that in the past and even now there's a bit of a receivables issue, not on the collections, but just on the length, because of the counterparties with being governments. It can take a very long time. So is it to get the reclaim money. So is there an ideal mix of business that you see that will enable you to bring forward that cash flow positive, EBITDA positive point, and at the same time sort of uh, give you a much better business mix?
Yeah, all the four pillars, the main trigger based on
Mm,
the technology we develop
mm,
is to get to that direction.
mm,
We very much would like to reduce the dependency that we have on government bodies for the VAT reclaim. Therefore,
mm,
we came out with the other two, three pillars. Actually, the way to
mm,
invoice, it's a SaaS based, so there
mm,
is no government in that area, not at all. It's between us and the client, cost per
mm,
invoice. They will
mm,
pay us monthly. And VAT compliance and VAT consultancy. So this is a routine business on monthly basis billing.
mm.
So therefore, we are heading to that direction.
Um, I know, in sort of looking at e-invoicing becoming mandatory uh, around the world, and the growth that we're seeing in the desire for it to be mandatory by governments, how central do you see that to your business model? Um, I did find a whole list of countries and where they are when it does come to mandatory e-invoicing. So I'm interested to know just how central it is to Way2VAT.
Central in terms of our business line, or
Yes, yeah.
in the end, as I said, this is one of the main engine for us
Mm,
for growth.
hmm
So we see that a kind of mandatory for us to
mm,
have a growth in this business. Invoicing is going to be a standard in most of the tax authorities around the globe, and we would like to be a major player there. But
mm,
being like just an invoicing provider won't be enough. Therefore, we
yeah.
came with API, with a AR and AP compliance, and
Mm,
we are the only one. Let's see if the others will try to
mm,
duplicate it.
mm,
But the idea is to come with end-to-end solution, not just for the invoicing solution. So
mm,
therefore, the four pillars really will help us because we can do also VAT reclaim, but
mhm,
mostly
mm,
is the AP compliance and AR compliance
mm,
with the invoicing. This is, I would say, the main added value advantage that we are having here.
mm. And also, when looking at the complexity of VAT and GST reclaim globally, and every country is different, do you see any threats when it comes to AI with the company trying to use AI to create its own solution?
AI can come and do solutions in both areas. As
Mm.
a benefit for us, and also
Yeah.
could be and also an issue down the road. Um, in the end, because the VAT business is so complicated, each
Mm.
country has its own solution. Each country has its own regulation. Each country has its own policy. It's very, very, very cumbersome. Each item, it's not a fix like VAT reclaim, GST reclaim you have in Australia or in other countries. Mostly in Europe, varies between expense types. So you can have in the same billing or the same invoice you are getting, one item with 10% VAT GST and second item on the same page with 5%, 6%. Okay, you are getting invoice from hotel. So you are paying for the hotel accommodation 22% VAT, but for the minibar you pay 7%. And for beverage you pay 8%. So you have to have a machine that can do that. AI can do everything in the end, okay? But because we are trying to reduce the risk, we came out with the four pillars. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are doing different things in order to reduce the risk and having different platform to different solutions. So
Mm.
I think down the road, I don't see a huge risk for our business with AI. What I can see, because of the cost reduction, even in Way2VAT, we put machine to replace human in the end. Competitor can be more competitive in terms of pricing. Okay,
Mm.
so they will try to move the cost saving to the client
Mhm.
and not to themselves. I think it's a mistake, but
Mm.
we are seeing this trend here and there. In the end, we are starting the revolution. We need to learn it more, but
Mhm.
we are a player. We are a decent player in that
Mm.
revolution. Yeah,
Mm.
in any
Mm.
corner in the company, AI is in any unit in the business. I'm in any meeting. If there is no AI, mainly internal use, yeah, also for the technology for our clients,
Yeah.
I will stop. I'm stopping this meeting. I would like to see where I can help us short term and long term for our cost reduction and
Mm.
also helping our clients to use our technology. So I think this is a mandatory for CEO that have a full binding
Mhm.
to AI. We don't have any other alternatives. If we would like to be a long-term player, we
Mm.
must adapt.
Yeah. I guess on the topic of expenses, you already have a very impressive gross margin, but is there further operating leverage you see within the model and within your business model to, I guess, expand margins or preserve them at this high level?
The margin is very nice.
Mm,
We're about 18% cost of goods sold, 82 gross margin. Um, if we will get to the certain level of revenue, from that part, we will start generate and we are going there. We're
mm,
almost there. So
mm,
this is the idea.
okay. I think we have room for one last question, which is, I think, an easy one an easy, maybe complex one to answer. But do you see yourself do you see Way2VAT as a takeout target potentially?
In the high-tech business, you cannot avoid it.
Mm,
We should put our radar out all the time.
mm,
The good things and bad things, being in ASX, that
yeah.
all players are seeing us and seeing our valuation and seeing our
Mm,
numbers. By the way, I think we are the only VAT player with this transparency.
mm,
Um, I think there's still a long way to go in terms of valuation. We
mm,
need to see that we are getting a very, very high level of valuation, and we deserve it and what we build here before we will look seriously on those opportunities.
mm. Uh, Unfortunately, I think we've run out of time. There are some more questions in the queue, but I think we've run out of time, unfortunately. But thank you very much, Amos. It's been a fascinating, I guess, introduction to the the opportunity that you have and the complexities that you're solving for companies in an area that would be, well, not would be, is neglected by them. But as you've shown, there's a 20 billion unreclaimed opportunity there just on the VAT reclaim alone.
Absolutely.
And you add in the other opportunities, and there's a lot that you can execute on to fully capture the value in e-invoicing and VAT reclaim, either domestic or globally.
Yeah.
So, if you have anything else to say, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll finish with that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anthony. In the end, we are in the right direction, keeping the business growing.
Mm,
We will come with some good news shortly with the new acquisition and new big deals. Working very hard, 24/7 for this business with my partner, with my board of directors, and we hope for the good for all of us. Thank you very much, Anthony, for your time. Thank you for the audience for listening to me this afternoon.
good. Thank you, Amos, and have a good. I guess for you, it's. I guess it's kind
Good
of like
morning.
morning. Yes. So,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Thank you. See you soon. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.